Hey guys, Drifter here. Last night's stream of the finals was the most positive gaming experience that I've had in years. Seriously, an incredible amount of good and uplifting things happened in such a short period of time that I thought I was overdosing on positivity, but what was really happening is that my edible was kicking in at the exact same time that the finals pro scene decided to raid my channel, and this overlapped with it being the exact same time that I decided to work on a CL40 trickshot montage. You might be wondering how I found myself in this situation, so let's hit the modern equivalent of a record scratch, and then I'll start at the beginning.
Welcome to the future of the finals!
It was an amazing evening of many firsts, just not many first places. I've been playing the finals a lot more recently because I think it's a fantastic game, and I'm trying to encourage more players on this channel to give the game a try. Though I realized I might not be doing the best job selling this game because I can't actually stream it properly. I can't share with you the type of joy that I get from the game because I'm unable to read chat. My disability prevents me from sitting upright, so the only way I can stream is from a gaming bed, and as many people have said, it's a totally different kind of locked in. It's basically just a bed that lays flat with a monitor that hangs down from the ceiling, so I lay on my back and look up at the monitor. One of the big drawbacks to this is that if I'm playing full screen, which I'm going to do because I want to play in 1440p 144 Hz, then there's no space on the screen for chat. There's also no opportunity to do multiple monitors because I can't turn my head really far left and right, and the mount can't support that kind of weight. We tried using projectors to project up the chat onto the ceiling, but that didn't really work. So a few days ago, I bought a mini LCD display that's intended for internal PC case display only. You know, the ones that would show you your fan speed and temperatures behind glass on like a really sick build. I tried to mount it properly with a mount on the wall, but eventually just gave up, and I used string and tape to literally tape this little monitor to the side of my computer just because it's so incredibly light, the tape works fine. The second monitor works fantastically, and it allowed me to read chat for the first time in forever. Previously, I could only read chat during teamfight tactics and not during FPS games. This felt fantastic for me because I've always been an overly verbose streamer, so it just felt natural to get the chat back. I thought that the monitor would be the big event of the evening, you know, like a big return stream from the chat where I can just hang out and talk with the people that I haven't been able to have conversations with in a long time, but this evening had a whole host of other surprises for me. First of all, it was a 420 gaming night. I took an edible just before I got onto stream, knowing that it would hit me at some point on stream. The first couple of games of the evening were slow as I ran through experimental classes on the heavy and the light, trying different things with the shotgun and the lock bolt, and just kind of trying to figure out the game as I do for in-depth. But the next to last game, unfortunately, ended up being very toxic when I was playing light with the M26 Matter shotgun. It was the first time I used it. I didn't really know how it worked, and I wasn't performing very well with it. The play the piano keys reload was really funny, but I was really underperforming on the team. Neither of my teammates had microphones, and unfortunately, one of them decided to berate me and say a handful of unpleasant things to me. And that's never a fun experience, especially when your gaming time is very limited like mine is. So I decided to swap over to the throwing knives and try a little bit harder just to show these guys up. I managed to clutch up a round and take us to the next round of the finals, and we ended up going all the way to the end. But in the next to last game, which you're seeing gameplay of right here, I hit the biggest, sickest clip I have ever hit on the finals. I got a solo team wipe against another squad with fairly long-range, difficult throwing knife hits, several headshots as well. Grapple hook through this gigantic mess of the debris. If a grapple hook is a skill shot, I certainly did it. And then managed to kill a guy mid-air as he's trying to get back into the building. It was just an all-time fun clip for me. I absolutely loved it. It's a shame that the other people didn't appreciate it and were being toxic, but that's okay. I got one more game in the evening for me. I play one medium, one heavy, one light, and it was medium time. The last game of the evening turned into an all-time banger, although it almost started with disaster. So around this time, my edible was kicking in, and I was experimenting with the medium class, which resulted in me building a very, very bad class in terms of the utility that I'm comfortable with. I was using the CL40 grenade launcher, which I love. I put in a launch pad, a zip line, and a breaching charge. I was also using the dematerializer, and the demat, zipline, and breaching charge were all pretty much completely new to me. I know they're all very strong. I know that you all can call me a newbie, but it was literally kind of like my first time. I'd used the dematerializer like a little bit before, but none of this kind of came naturally to me. I was kind of like feeling it out on the go. But most importantly, as a medium, I forgot my paddles and my heals, so I had no ability to revive my teammates or provide them healing. I was truly a 0% team player here, but that's okay because an incredible team found me. Just 2 random solo players joined the lobby, and the first person to speak up was actually the first person the entire night to have a microphone. I tried to talk to a bunch of people, nobody talked back. This guy was not only extremely friendly, but he was a fan and just kind of happy to be on the stream. It sucks that I didn't have my audio setup configured to capture the voice audio from the finals very well, so I can't play back very many of our conversations. So that's why we're doing story time today instead of a live edit. I'll say the man was extremely friendly, he had a great attitude, he was fun to play with. We hit it off really well, and having somebody to communicate with immediately made the game better. Though I do feel a little bit guilty for not giving 100% of my focus to the chat like I promised. I will blame the marijuana for distracting me here. Our third teammate didn't seem to have a mic plugged in and wasn't really communicating. He wasn't really responding to whatever we were doing. However, in the middle of the game, this guy made a really big-brained play and managed to keep us moving along the tournament in the finals. So I thought I would hit the mic button one more time and give him a compliment. The compliment was a little spicy, and it goes something like this. Bud, that's big brain. If you were here right now, I'd kiss you on your lips, no matter how big your fucking beard is. So as wild as that was, as silly as it was, it actually motivated our third player to plug in his mic, and suddenly I'm playing on a whole squad of strangers that are incredibly friendly. My gaming experience was instantly improved. We all played well together. We all seemed to be of like mind to chase fun over wins. And somehow we actually went to the finals, which is the last round of the tournament. And that's rare for me. I want to emphasize, you're talking about the guy who has a limited amount of time that he can game from a bed. I'm not particularly great at games. I don't actually go to the finals a lot. So I was really happy to actually be there. And just before the start of the actual finals, in the finals, my edible fully kicked in really hard. I could feel that wub-wub sensation just like flowing over my body. For those of you that don't know, I'm a big proponent of cannabis on this channel, and I take Delta 8 edibles in the evenings to help with the pain of my condition. I used to stream high on Delta 8 for basically every single like Warzone stream that you've ever seen, and a ton of Call of Duty stuff. OverWatch as well, but I haven't done that in years due to my health conditions. One of my favorite gaming moments of all time, as a little like cutaway here, is actually during the Overwatch era where I got really high and I was playing Tracer, but I got so high that I forgot that I'm a person, and I started thinking that I was Tracer and that I was in the game, and that if I died in the game, I would die for real. And somehow that panic caused me to get a 20 kill streak as Tracer because I was so mortified of dying. I thought it was going to be for real, but it turned into a really positive memory. Last night while I was playing the finals, I was kind of worried that I didn't have those kind of skills still in me, that when I got high, I would fully turn into a potato, but I actually played it at kind of like a 7 out of 10 on my scale, which is great. I started feeling a little bit silly. I was communicating with the team a little bit more. I was trying to go for long shots with the CL40 and trick shots and utilize the crane and the launch pads and the zip lines. And we're gonna hit some fun clips here. It was somewhere between brain dead and totally toxic, but that's the train I was on last night. And then out of nowhere, in the middle of all this other good stuff that's going on, ProHubs TF, which is the competitive league for the finals, decided to raid me. ProHubs TF is raiding me with a party of 193 pro league raid. Hey, I'm playing Finals pro scene, thank you guys. Which was funny because I'd actually watched some of their broadcast earlier in the day before I got online to stream. I'd be lying if I said I watched a ton of it, but I tuned in for a match or two to just kind of really put my eyeballs on what competitive play looked like for the finals at the highest level. I gotta say, it doesn't look like how I play this game at all, but you know, I'm a scrub, so that's how it's gonna be. But I want to say thank you to ProHubs TF. You guys 10x'd my audience that night and kind of blew it up through the roof, which was awesome. I was feeling incredibly self-conscious when everybody piled in because the audience flooding in is not only from the most competitive scene in the finals, but if you look at how spastic and bouncy and fast this game is, it's probably one of the most competitive scenes in gaming right now, period. I wasn't sure how they would react to seeing a guy game in a bed, completely stoned, and trying to do grenade launcher trick shots. As it turned out, they seemed to have absolutely loved it. Almost everybody from the raid decided to stay. Tons of people had compliments for me, which I gotta tell you guys here, watching this on YouTube, incredibly rare in social media land. Like, usually you just get, like, negativity, right? It's so good to see, like, a wave of happiness. They seemed to find what I was doing to be very funny. They found the bed to be funny, which I have mixed feelings about. At least it entertains people, you know. And a number of them apparently were watchers from my old Call of Duty days. The cherry on top is that a number of people in chat were also talking about the video I made for positivity in the finals, and I suspect that was one of the reasons for the raid to begin with. It felt like this big feedback loop of positivity that was kind of coming back around on itself. I'm very grateful for that, but now we've caught up with the record scratch moment from the beginning. Here's me going to the finals for the first time in like a month, on a night where chat returns for the first time in years, and cannabis products return for the first time in years, and it was the first game where I have teammates that communicate. Everything went fantastically, and the guys that I were playing with also wanted to win, but they were even more there for fun. I let them know that the pro scene was watching, and that was incredibly motivating. Attitude got even better. They decided to support me on this journey of CL40 clownery and worked double hard not only to heal and keep me alive, but try to win the game and set up for big plays. We went from silence to callouts like crazy, and that's a lot to ask of two strangers, much less to receive unconditionally. I want to really emphasize that. Like, typically when I'm trying to do a specific thing for a video, especially if it's a goofy thing, I get like a whole team together of people that I know and that I can trust, and will, you know, people that aren't going to be upset if I play really bad, right? Because strangers will have mental breakdowns over that. These guys just hopped in, and they were quite literally down to clown. I had a great time. I added both of these guys to my friends list, so I'll maybe pull them in for later games. Definitely going to also rebalance my audio settings for the finals sometime soon, so hopefully I can better capture game chat, so you can actually hear what's going on instead of just Drifter story time. Oh, and incredibly, we actually won. I can't remember the last time it was. I actually won a tournament in the finals. I know that there's like a ton of people in the comments, you probably win all the time, but hey, it's rare for me, so I had a blast. It was an amazing evening that reminded me of basically every single thing that I love about gaming. It checked every single box. If I were to focus really hard and use my psionic powers to manifest the personification of the things I like about gaming, it was probably this session of the finals. I had a ridiculous amount of fun. It felt fantastic to be stoned out of my gourd, flying all over the map at a bajillion miles an hour, shooting grenades while my team supported me, and the most competitive league in the finals also seemed to be very supportive of this behavior, which was shocking. Had a great time. So the message of this video, if there is one other than me boasting about how much fun I had, is that you gotta carve your own path in gaming. You gotta keep in mind that when you get online to play in a game like the finals, or any FPS game, or any other game with people, that what really matters isn't that you hit your shots, it isn't what your rank is, or how much DPS you're dealing, or how many times, what's your accuracy with the Hanzo arrow, or whatever. It's really about the people that you play with. It's about the people that you meet, the conversations that you have, the situations that you set up for yourself, the wins that you allow yourself to have or not have. You kind of are building your own story in a way here. And that's kind of how, I guess that's advice. I don't know. I'm trying to turn this into something positive and failing terribly here, having a bit of a chuckle. I do hope that some of the new viewers that tuned in for that and for the finals video stick around when I post some more cynical stuff in the science department here on this channel. But that's all for this video. Just wanted to share this moment with you. I hope that you all enjoyed. I hope you had a great time watching. And I'm going to play back my best clip of the evening with the throwing knives one more time, but with the raw audio where you can hear me asking chat if that's an acceptable clip. Drifter out. Oh, guys, that's a clip. Is that not a clip? I mean, it's like barely a clip, but it's still technically a clip. Oh, is that a clip? Come on. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That has to be a clip. I'm trying so hard. Oh my God.